welcome to the Reaper Podcast. I am your host, John Reaper, and of course, there is a lot going on that you guys need to know. I haven't really been since the afternoon of Friday all the way up until now. I have not been on Twitter as much, or I've been like off of Twitter. The reason being is my wife, her aunt passed away from a heart attack. She was on dialysis, a lot. She had a lot of complications. The doctors had said that she had 4 blockages in her heart, and there was nothing they could do. They tried. She went and they tried to revive her, and they couldn't. They tried all they can, and it was just nothing. So it's taking its toll a lot. I knew her. We'd be back and forth, with each other, and it was awesome. She was a good person. It's taken its toll on me. I've had plenty of time to mourn. As Snake said, I have no more tears to shed, and I think that's true as of right now. When this comes out, it'll be Tuesday. Wednesday is the actual funeral, so I will probably be off all Wednesday on social media. It's been very eventful, to say the least. It's been distraught. When a death happens, it doesn't seem real. It does not seem, when it happens, and it's like you're trying to wrap your mind around it, And I think for me, it doesn't seem real because I dealt with horror movies all my life. I've dealt with, ever since I was little, I've been pallbearer for a lot of my family. I've taken so many families to the grave, it's not even funny. It's it's normal. It's very, very hard, to go through meeting somebody, and you've been part of their life for a while. Every once in a while you'll see them, hi, and joke and talk, and it was very sudden. You did not. Certain people expected this to happen. I didn't. Usually I'm optimistic. Usually I'm like, oh, she'll get through it, But as it happened, it was just unreal. It was, did I go see her in the hospital after? Yeah, I did. That was the hardest thing to see, I did not, I didn't visit her in the hospital because it was all of a sudden, it was sudden. And that's the thing, is we don't think about stuff like that, and, they said that she didn't know what was going on. She went peacefully, basically. And it's so, it's heavy, and once the shock and the disbelief that, no, she's still here, or it's a bad dream, it's a joke. Once it sets in, and what I mean by that is, going everyday life without that person. That's when it sets in. That's when it just sits there and be like, oh, this is real. They're gone. It's tremendously awful. It sucks, But I've taken time to reflect on it and reflect on on a lot of stuff, my life. Um, I'm actually gonna try to get away from pop, and I'm not a drinker, I'm not a smoker. I the I do I take showers, I take care of my body, if I get sick, I right away, meds, I buy meds, I've got insurance, but I hardly go to the doctor, and I think I need to start going and checkups and stuff like that. I I need to do. I need to get it done because it's one of those things that you need to check. You need to get done. Um, and my insurance is by luck, dude, because I make a lot of money fabricating. I mean, there's a lot of plants that do, and yeah, I could make moves to go somewhere else, and it's a possibility. Um, but the insurance I have now, I'm very grateful for. I pay very little. I get a lot of. I mean, if I get sick, I can go in there, go out. My prescriptions are, you know, paid in full. So all I gotta do is say, send it to whatever place, and then go pick it up. And I don't have to pay. I don't have to, And I'm very thankful for that. And it's not the Obamacare thing. A lot of people are like, oh, you got the Obama. No, it's not that. It's a totally different state thing. And it's kind of like Medicaid, but I'm very thankful for that. There's just a lot of stuff has happened, and you reflect on your mortality. As younger people and as us, we think we are not. We think we are immortal. We think death is not real to us because, oh, it won't happen to us. But the truth and the matter of fact is, it doesn't matter if you're healthy. It doesn't matter if, if you don't take care of yourself. There's a lot of people out there that drink and smoke and do all this crazy stuff, and they live to very old age. And there's a lot of people that live really healthy lives, but then all of a sudden die because of complications or because of this. And that's the funny part of death, is that you do not know. It doesn't matter. Like, you can be the fittest person in the world, dude. You can work out as minimally as possible so that you have a healthy body. You eat healthy. You diet. You eat what you could eat. You go to the doctor as soon as you get sick, and like a flu, to combat it. You take all kinds of vitamins. You take this, take that, take this, take that. But at the end of the day, that healthy person that takes all the precautions and everything and doesn't live the way they want to live, all of a sudden it comes up, they passed away due to complications, due to a heart attack, due to this. Well, that person was healthy. Yeah, that person was healthy. That person was eating right. That person wasn't on any drugs or did anything. That was just their time. As appropriate my name is, the Reaper came a knocking, and that's kind of why I like the name Reaper. I like the aspect of the Reaper, because he is the angel of death. He comes when it's your time. And a lot of people would be like, the Grim Reaper ain't real. It was because of the Black Plague or whatever. No, dude, there is an angel of death. Your soul doesn't, just come out of your body and then, gravitate somewhere else. No, it's guided by somebody. I do believe the Reaper is real. I do believe, my my father, I don't know if I should say this or not, but I know he don't listen to this, but my father, I think he was sick or there was something that happened, and he would, out of the corner of his eye, would see the Grim Reaper, like just standing there. And it'd freak out. Like he thought he was next, you know. There's many incidents where one guy, I saw a video, one guy got his parachute tangled and he plummeted and fell and hit the ground really hard. And he thought he was on the verge of death to where he saw the Grim Reaper, and he was, showed video footage of him going, no, get away, and he was saying, I literally saw the Grim Reaper coming towards me, And I think it's true. There is an angel of death or somebody to come to you to take you where you need to go in the afterlife. Whatever people believe the afterlife is, of course, you guys know my religion. But the thing is, with me, it's totally different. It's weird. I'm not bound. I'm not bound by religion. I'm bound by ideology, I'm not bound by that either. But I'm bound by, I believe this and that, And I go out of the realm of what I believe. And I'm intrigued by other religions. Other religions are so awesome to research, so awesome to hear and to see. To be honest, I envy the people that go across the world, like the Rite of Norman Reedus, or, a lot of other people that just travel around the world to talk with different people and their religions. I want to do that. I want to travel. I want to see people's religions, temples. I want to see their customs. I want to, I love culture, and I love that, I love to see people's culture. I experienced a culture. I know you guys are probably like, dude, it's everywhere in America, but me being a closed person, I wanted to experience Catholics. I wanted to experience that stuff. My grandfather was one, so I was like, I want to come to, what do they call it when you go midnight mass? And I was like, yeah, I want to go to that. And he was like, okay, you sure? I'm like, yeah. And I want to see how much different, because I believe, I am, I am what they call a true, I know a lot of people are going to hate me, but I hope you guys don't. But I am what they call a true Christian. I do not judge any person. If somebody comes to me, my closest friends, believe it or not, this is gonna freak you guys out. My closest friends are atheists. Yeah. Can you believe that? My closest friends are atheists. And atheism don't mean, they don't believe in God. They don't believe in anything. No, there's certain atheism that they believe in a higher power, just not of the religions that are out there. They believe there is a higher power. There's something out there, but nobody has found it yet, or whatever. They explained it to me, and it's been a while since they explained it to me. Because then I'm like, okay, cool. So what's up? And what's funny is the first time I met them, I met one. He was way into atheism and stuff, than the other one. And the other one was I got to know him, and he was like, why are you with, if you're, they couldn't figure out why I wanted to hang with them. They couldn't figure out why, and I think one of them did ask me, they're like, you're not going to convert me, are you? I was like, why would I do that? They just looked at me, and I'm like, why would you ask me that? And then they're like, well, other people has tried. Other people has I was like, look, I'm not all about that, dude. I'm all about you. I'm all about the person. I'm not about the ideology or the religion. I don't judge. I judge only by what you do to me. You know, what you do to other people, what you say, you know. And I'm not gonna sit there and throw you around if you're, if I deem you a bad person myself. I just distance myself from you, and I'm like, okay, that person's bad. I need to just not be their friend, unfriend them, and hopefully they don't notice, and I just need to distance myself from them, you know. And I've had to do that like a couple of times, once I figured out what that person's true purpose was. Like, I am that kind of person. Like, once I talk to you, I exactly know what's going on. I know who you are and what you're about, I don't know what you've been through. That part, I would like to understand it. But the part of you trying to do better, you trying to better yourself, where you came from. And if you don't try to better yourself, I just kind of like, well, look, hey, I go my way, you go your way. I hope you have a good life, I hope you better yourself and whatever is you're doing, I've had to say that to a couple people. I had to do that to a couple people, and it sucks. It really does. But once you sense a toxicity in people, once you sense what they're about, like, you get this, like, feeling. Like, okay, like, if you stay with them, something's going to happen. Or, something, they'll do something. And you don't want that kind in your life. But I do agree with the point that other people that are toxic need a good person to kind of filter that toxic and maybe pull that out, because once good people leave a toxic person and the toxic person's alone, it usually is devastating. And it sucks. We just need to love each other. Me, as I'm not like, I don't want to sit there and but enough talking about, I could talk about this all day. A lot of people think I should do a podcast which just talks about, I don't like to talk about religions. I'm like Andrew Dice Clay on that. You don't talk about religion, politics, or Elvis, because you lose every time. You lose every time. And he is true. He is very, very true. The Elvis part, I don't know, because I could talk about Elvis. But the politics and the religion is so true. I don't talk about politics. I don't talk about religion. So if other people want to know my religion, yeah, like, if you want to soul connect with me, man, if you want to sit there and go, okay, I want to know this guy's soul, I want to know what he's about, dude, I will talk to you all night. I mean, I used to do that with my friends that are atheists. I used to sit there and we would talk, and it was amazing, and I loved it, because we would sit there all night. He would talk about what he feels. I would talk about how I feel. Like, about my, like, okay, I think, well, from what I believe, I think this is what happens. And then he goes, well, okay, from my beliefs, I think this is what happens. And then I'll be like, oh, that's interesting. That's cool. But how do you feel about this? Because my belief says this. And then he would go to me and go, well, I believe, this. I love those conversations, dude. It is uplifting and spiritual. Once you connect with somebody spiritually, it's so cool. because I done that like a couple of times, and the first time I'm like, dude, what, what the hell happened, man? And then he's like, I think we connected spiritually, and I was like, whoa, I go, because you and I believe in different religions. He's like, I know, and I'm like, wow, that is so awesome. So and the thing is, when you do that, and how you connect spiritually, you don't feel anger. You don't feel anger. You don't feel nothing. You don't feel remorse, or you don't feel ashamed. You don't be like, oh, this person's going to hate me if I say this. No. Once you connect spiritually about your beliefs and talk one another, because, like, what he said, it didn't anger me. Because I want to understand him. I want to understand how he feels. I want to understand why he went through and said the stuff he said. You know. So you sit there and you understand this person. You get so close to them. To be honest, a lot of my friends that I used to have that were believed in the same, not the same beliefs I believed in, but they were in the same religion group, whatever. And to be honest, I don't hardly talk to them. I don't. And it's weird. I don't talk to them hardly. Every once in a while I'll talk to them, but not all the time. Not like I do my other friends that do not believe in the same stuff I do. But it's so weird when you connect to somebody that's the different spirituality, the different religions. It's so scary. It's not scary, but it's like it's beautiful. At first it's scary. It's like, dude, I'm feeling this feeling, and he's saying stuff that usually people get offended, and it's like, I'm not offended. I don't get mad. There's something going on, and once you get to the bottom of it, it feels like you just want to be like, dude, this is beautiful, and you want to cry because it's so beautiful. But that's what I usually do. I'll be like, okay, this person wants to figure out my religion and what I believe. Let's do this. And it has to be like a stay up all night thing. You have to, there's certain things you have to sit there and connect. You have to sit there, and just mellow. You're relaxed. You're mellow. You ate. You ain't hungry. You ain't tired. You're sitting there mellow, and you talk. And it's such a beautiful thing. And I love it. To be honest, I would love to do that with Hideo Kojima. I would love that to do that with Norman Reedus and David Hayter and all that. Because it's not about, and like, it does not work. Okay, a lot of people be like, oh, I won't work, or people try that and it doesn't work. Well, it's because you gotta, okay, if that doesn't work, you gotta look back and go, okay, who got angry at who? Did that person get angry at you? Well, then they ain't doing it right. They're not relaxed. They're not open. If you're mad at that person and said, well, they said something that made me mad, it's like, it's not, you can't do that. That's not how it works. It works by, you're wanting to know who they are, who they really are. Once you figure out who they really are, and you want to take that a step further and figure out their spiritualness, their spirit, their thinking, their once you figure that out, you're like, all right, cool, I can click with this person, and you click. It's not about this, that. It's, to me, it's spiritual bonding. And it's so, and I mean, I know you guys are probably like, dude, what does this podcast come to? But we went from death to spiritualness and all that. It's like, well, when it comes to Metal Gear games and stuff, it's all about spiritual, and I do like the aspect of that, the supernatural, the spiritualness, ethics. It's pretty awesome. But that's one thing I want to get into is the Metal Gear. Oh yeah, you knew I was gonna get into this. Alright, we're moving on to Metal Gear. Everyone, I've been doing Metal Gear Solid. I've done Metal Gear, Metal Gear 2, and now I'm on Metal Gear Solid. I am fixing to go on Metal Gear Solid 2 after 1. Once I do that, I will actually move on to Metal Gear Solid 3, and then Portable Ops, and then after that would be Metal Gear Solid 4. After I'm done with 4, I'll be moving on to Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. After Peace Walker, there's no more Metal Gear titles. What is my what do I do after that? Well, there will be a back and forth thing. There will be I will move the slot with or Survive right now is the back and forth with Metal Gear, which I'm actually going to be that'll be almost done. Survive is almost done in a certain way. Once Survive is done, I will put the nuclear disarmament back in that slot, and I'll have a free slot to do whatever. And I haven't decided what that is. Once I'm done with the Metal Gear universe, I might move on to a different universe, or I might do a nuclear disarmament and co-op and MGO something. I might do something, I just don't know what yet. I just want to get through the franchise right now. That way I have the entire Metal Gear playthrough franchise on my channel. Silent Hill is going to be tricky because I don't have the games for it. To be honest, I wish Konami would release a Silent Hill HD bundle collection. What it would have like the entire Silent Hill collection up until Downpour. I think that would be ideal. I think it would. You'd have Shattered Memories and all that. I wish they would do that. I wish they would get on the ball, bringing out the Metal Gear HD collection for the PS4, because I'm using the PS3 for different games, for the Silent Hills franchise and the Metal Gear franchise. Wait, after Metal Gear Solid 4. No, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing Portable Ops, Peace Walker, Metal Gear Solid 4, and then Rising. It's like, why not do Peace Walker after Rising? Well, because the Ground Zeroes and the Phantom Pain, I've already done those. Those are already on there. So, even though the Phantom Pain is kind of grainy, I would love to do another walkthrough of that, but it's so long. It's like, oh my god. Because, I was watching them, I was like, dude, I was doing a 2-hour thing. I guess I could do, a main walkthrough and then have, all the side ops, but the side ops I do believe is part of the game, But, yeah. And I've just seen the Han Solo trailer. We'll be talking about that here in a minute. But Metal Gear, I don't know. A lot of people are asking me about Survive. Or not Survive, Death Stranding, And then a lot of people ask me about Survive. What do you think about that? Well, I haven't played it all yet. Give me a minute. Because there's certain things I'm like, okay, I'll say it. But then there's also certain things I'm like, I'm not going to say it because I haven't played the game yet. I haven't beat it. Stop it. I'm slow because I'm doing other shit, I'm trying to get through Silent Hill 2, to get through 3, and then to go through Homecoming, and hopefully I'll order Downpour and play it. Yeah, I know. It's like, why? Yeah, I'll do it. All the other games, I don't know if I can get, especially with the game engines and stuff. I don't know. I mean, I'll try. I'll really, 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 really try. But I don't know if I can get all the Silent Hill. I mean, if I can get my hands on Silent Hill stuff, yeah, I'll record it. That does not mean to go, what's your address? I got, uh, Silent Hill 4 on the PS2. No, I don't. I'll figure out a way, because my emulators ain't running as good as they should. But yeah. So, let's move on to the Han Solo. Han Solo trailer. I saw the new trailer. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna go see it. I don't like the new Han Solo. I don't particularly like the new Han Solo. Why don't I like the new Han Solo? It doesn't seem like Han Solo. Okay? When you watch the original Han Solos and then you watch this, it's like, dude, who's this goof? To be honest, they should have picked Chris Patrick. They should have picked him. Dude, he played in Guardians of the Galaxy, which is like Star Wars. He is the Han Solo of the Marvel Universe. He came up with Star-Lord's personality from Han Solo and Indiana Jones. Two characters that have been played by Harrison Ford. Come on. When you watch Guardians of the Galaxy, it's like, that's Han Solo. Hands down. It's like Ryan Reynolds. You watch any movie Ryan Reynolds is in, it's Deadpool. Every time. Boom, boom. The sarcasticness, the witty, the sometimes breaking the fourth wall. That is, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool and has been born to play Deadpool. He could play Deadpool until he's about to die, and I'd be like, that's Deadpool, and they better not make another Deadpool movie, because there ain't gonna be another Ryan Reynolds, except for, I found two people that look almost identical to Ryan Reynolds, which is creepy. One is on a soap opera that my wife watches. The other one, he's on This Is Us, or he was on like Bad Moms 2 or Bad Moms Christmas, as like a stripper, and he looks and reminds me of Ryan Reynolds. The buffer version of Ryan Reynolds. They could be twins. They could be the way the voice sounds and everything. It's Ryan Reynolds. But anyway, back to the point I was making, was that Chris could have been Han Solo, and he said he wants to be in a Star Wars movie. I wish they would have went for him, but I think that would be too obvious, and I think people would be like, oh, there's a Guardians of the Galaxy crossover or something like that, or people would think, oh, he was groomed to be Han Solo to begin with. But I think a lot of people would agree with me. They should have picked him. They should have picked him, hands down. This new guy is just so, I don't know, cringy. But I'm going to give him a try regardless. I gave Star Wars The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi a try, and I loved him. My son loved him, and I'm going to give it my all on this, and yeah, we'll see from there. We'll try, okay? I hope it's gonna be good, but I don't know. Like, I'll like the story overall. I just won't like the person. I'll just be like, that person sucked. I hate it, but I love the movie. It's gonna be like one of those. So, moving on to the next topic. The next topic is I have my virtual reality back, and I will be doing VR stuff. I've actually got an unboxing to show you guys, reveal the studio. Once I do that, I'm gonna be doing the first thing I'm gonna be doing is Paranormal Activity. I want to do Paranormal Activity because it's something to get to. I want to do Inpatient as well. But the thing is, I want to get my camera working, but I need a 3.01 USB drive or whatever. But I'm gonna try to figure that out and see what's going on with that. Hopefully, I get everything right. It's aggravating, okay, to get everything the way it should be. It really is. It's aggravating. But once you hit snags, I was gonna record, like, I was just gonna say screw the camera and record the VR thing, but all of a sudden, like, it broke down. The processor just, I'm like, no, So yeah, I'll be getting you some VR videos soon. I don't know when, but they'll be soon. Also, I will be getting. Also, I do have a theory about. I wonder if anybody has tried to play the Phantom Pain or Ground Zeroes through the VR or Survive. To see if there was anything. To be honest, I would love if Konami would come out with a VR, like you go through Detail. That would be cool. Like, that would be so cool. Like, and you could see the zombies and shit, or the wanderers and all that. The boss fights would be kind of cool. Like, I think it would be cool. I can't wait for Mars, dude. Zone of the Enders, man. Come on. To be in the cockpit. Literally the cockpit of the machine. You're in the so you're the sperm. Sorry, it was horrible. But, dude, you're in the cockpit of Zone of the Enders, man. I know it's not going to be as cool because you're not seeing the whole robot fighting and all that like a movie. But come on, you're in the cockpit. How cool is that going to be? I did try out Gran Turismo, and that was like amazing. It was weird because it was like, okay, I'm in a car, and it's cool because, like, usually you have buttons like you can look back or whatever. This, you don't require that. This, you can look at the rearview mirrors. You can look at the side mirrors, the rearview mirror. It's like, oh my god, I can see the car. And the one thing I don't like about it is they have that auto freaking brake. I hate the auto brake because it screws you up, dude. It screwed me up so much. It's like, stop braking. That's not when I want to brake, because it will gently brake and it's just like slowly. It's like, no, and then you hit the gas and it won't go. Like, you let off the gas, you hit it again, and it won't go. And it's like, no, until you go down a certain speed, and it's like, okay, I can go again. Man, that was a mouthful. Ever since that, like, I haven't been in it again, but I need to go in it because I just bought a Mustang, and I'm like, yes, yeah. Sorry. So I did Skyrim, and I liked it. It was buggy, sort of. Not buggy, but it's Skyrim, to be honest, like, they should have took Skyrim for the PS4 version. I do believe that it's the Skyrim for the VR. I do believe it's the Skyrim PS3 version and not the PS4. The graphics are not updated in any way. You could tell that right off the bat. Maybe they tried and it did not work with the VR or something. But it's a full game. You could play the entire Skyrim game in VR. That is cool. And I'm not Josh and that, because VR games are to the point and not very long. Particular, they're short, very 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 short. I did play to completion Batman VR, not 100% complete, but oh my god. And there's certain things you guys need to know about that because I got confused on where it was in the story until I looked it up. In the story, it's in between Arkham Knight and Arkham City. You know that I'm thinking about doing a video for you guys for that. I have not tried Resident Evil yet. I'm afraid to try Resident Evil. What other VR games did I buy? I'm waiting on Rick and Morty VR to be let out so I can have that here. I don't know what other VR games I bought. I totally just like spaced it. I was gonna buy Doom for VR, but like at first I was like, okay, it's just Doom in VR. I'm not gonna buy it. Which I'm trying to pick up Doom for and it's buggy for some reason. Shit just like goes wrong with Doom. I don't know. I don't know. I might pick up Doom for VR, but I mean, there's a lot of VR games. I want to do the werewolf thing. I want to do a co-op VR game because I see like co-op games. I'm like, dude, I want that. I want a co-op game. Somebody get online and play me. I want to do that because I think it would be so fun. I wish they have like a chat. I know they have that rec room, but dude, that looks so kiddish. I don't know. Star Trek, I don't know about that one. I don't know because I am not a Star Trek person, and I feel like if I go into the Star Trek universe game and play it and go, hey guys, hey, and I will say something Star Warsy, and people are gonna hate me. They're gonna go, you're a Star Wars nerd. Get out of here. What are you doing playing this? And then they'll kick me out. It's gonna be like, aw. It's like, really? You're gonna be like that? My console right now is like packed. Like all the VR games I have, I squeezed it all on there. Ow. And I deleted some games, but the games I'm recording, I still have that on there. Like Doom. I want to finish that so I can delete it. I still have the Metal Gear game on there and Survive. And I plan on leaving those on there so that way once I get done recording VR games, I will delete them like I usually do, but yeah, it's so frustrating with the VR as well. There's some drawbacks to it. And the sucky thing is my lens, I put lens protectors on them because I didn't want to get scratched up. Sent them in, and apparently they gave me a brand new headset. So I didn't have any protectors on there, so I had to put new ones on. So sometimes it's blurry, sometimes, and the thing is, you do have to have the lights off. If you don't, because the gasket around that kind of blocks light. It's like the rubber black thing on the inside. What that essentially does, it just blocks your view around, so it kind of makes you focus on the lenses. So it's like, okay, yeah, I'm in VR, but it's not. When you have glasses that don't firmly go to your face, it's out there a little ways, so there's a little bit of light going around. You can see a ring of light, and you can kind of see down a little bit. So to combat that, if you have glasses, you do have to turn the light off. It does have to be off for you to do that, which is not a problem. It's better. They said it's better anyway for the tracking, so I turn my light off. Boom. Any other games have I tried? I've tried quite a bit of games. But there's just a lot of games out there that and I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be awesome. But there's a lot of games. I do wish Sony would pick up on the tracking, and what I mean that is, they need to release something where instead of the camera. Okay, they need to release something that could come up and spread out into sensors or to other cameras, just like the Vive, because it's annoying. Like the headset, you can look back and you can look all around you, but the sensors or the camera can only pick up the controllers when you're facing frontwards and sideways. When you turn around with that, it's like shit just goes haywire, or like it just disappears. Your controller disappears until you look back, and it's like. And then when you put one hand in front of the other, you put one controller in front of the other, and it's like that controller disappears. It's like, when you watch the Vive and stuff, I think, to be honest, I think they should do that. I think it should be a long ass cable, like that would go up the wall behind the TV, and then you have like a splitter, and you could just split it. And one camera goes to one side of the wall, one camera goes to the other side of the wall, and then you have one on each side goes down behind you so they can pick up behind. I think it needs to be like that, because it's so disorienting to see, to see stuff like that happen, or when you reach something and it goes out of the proximity view of the camera, and it's like, and you gotta pull back, and you gotta go, okay, how do I do this? So it sucks. It really does. I think that's the only reason, that's the only way Sony could combat the Vive, is by releasing cameras just like the Vive. And I do believe in controllers just like the Vive, which I've seen controllers that are pretty good. So other than that, like I've said before the last podcast, I did do a podcast with Phantom King. Awesome guy, awesome podcast. He did a podcast with J-Han and Fingers. Is that how you're going to pronounce? He did music for them. I have not watched it yet, but I will. I'm going to. There's certain stuff that's come up to where, yeah, it's, but I will get to eventually watching it. It's such an amazing thing, that he's doing, and it's awesome. And it's like, I try to get like people on mine, and it's like, and a lot of people want to do it on a Saturday, and it's not it for me. Usually I'm a Sunday person. I'm like, okay, I got stuff to do on Saturdays. Sunday, would I rather do stuff on Sunday and then have free time on Saturday? Yeah, I would, but it doesn't play out my way. So, every once in a great while, I'll get a chance to do a Saturday podcast with somebody. I'd be like, okay, I can do this now, and I love it, or if I do an interview, it has to be either Friday night, or the nights, or, Sunday or Monday, and it's like tight, and I hate that, I really do, but, sorry. But guys, this has been an awesome podcast to talk to you. I'm sorry I rambled on about the spiritual stuff. Also, No Maritas is with Sean Patrick Flannery. Boondock 3, maybe? Oh, they're in flight, so I cannot wait. The Walking Dead was awesome. The last episode for this season will be in some theaters. I wish I could go to that. That would be extremely awesome, but I do not believe my significant other would go for that. So therefore, I'll be restricted at home, because we would have to drive all the way 40, maybe 45 minutes away. That's the closest theater they got. I'm trying to do this German accent and I can't do it. And Z would have to understand that. So therefore, I would not be going to the theater to see the last episode of the season of The Walking Dead. And I wish it was, but in all respect of my significant other, that is not going to happen. Guys, it's been an honor to do podcasts, and I want you to know that I'm back, but I'm not 100% back, because when this is releasing, the next day is the funeral. I will be devastated. Of course, my wife will be devastated. She's already said many a times that she does not want to do this. She doesn't want to. And I'm like, we have to. It's your final goodbye until. And like I said, I believe in the afterlife, as many other people in different religions do. And I told her we will see each other again later on in life, but this is just a final goodbye for now. You know, this is a goodbye. I will see you again, you know, when the time comes. And with that, I do want to leave a special message with you guys. For those of you who have family members that you never talk to, those of you who are really close to family members, stay close to them. It's really, really hard to see the ones you love just break down. It's really hard. It's really hard, and I do have to say that please don't, when it's your family, don't wish ill on one another, and don't wait till the last second to say goodbye or say I love you. You do it right now. If there's somebody out there you have not said it to, please do that. Go do that. Pause this podcast or stop it and go call that person on the phone. Don't send them a text. Call them. Or if you can get to them in person. Hug them and say, I love you. Don't you ever forget that. We all don't know when we go. We all don't know our time. If we would know what to do. But live your life like it's your last. Do something with your life. Doesn't matter how big, how small. You do it. You don't wait till the last second to tell somebody you love them. If you love them, you tell them, you show them. But don't wait. Don't wait till the end. Because you might regret it in the end. You might be left standing there. I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have said this. When really, in reality, you had all the time in the world. So please, go do that right now. Please. This is not a plea for subscribers, for followers, for anything. I'm not even going to say that. You guys know the links are below. But go do that. What are you waiting for? If you're still listening to this, what are you doing? Why are you still listening to this? In the video. Call. Go to people, your loved ones right now, and say, I just want to say I love you. Thank you guys for listening to the Reapers podcast. Good night.